Good morning or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, all around the globe. Welcome to another webinar of Strategy International, in a series where we attempt to tackle a very difficult subject. That is the subject of artificial intelligence and the impact it will have in our everyday affairs, in our everyday lives, and the dangers that may arise from it. Of course, when something innovative comes along, we always have an idea that it will bring about a huge change in our lives, a change that may be beneficial to all, to most, if not all of us. But many times humanity has seen that the golden pill it has seemed to have swallowed, having negative effects as well. If, for instance, we take the introduction of the motor car and of the internal combustion engine, it definitely gave a huge push to humanity in order to be able to facilitate its growth and caused a huge economic growth. But on the other hand, it has now caused a huge global warming problem, since its use and the way we chose to use it became harmful and is still harmful to this very day. So this is quite a thought for us at the moment. And since artificial intelligence seems to be the talk of the day, we'll try to go into, I suppose, uncharted territory, since the application of law in something that has not really begun yet showing its true effects is always difficult. Helping me with this kind of questions are two eminent lawyers from Thessaloniki, Miss Aliki Konstantakou. Hello, Aliki. Nice to join us.
Hello. Me too. Thank you, Dr. Damages, for the invitation.
Thank you too as well. And we also have Miss Martina Mala, a lawyer from Thessaloniki. Thank you, Miss Mala, for joining us here today.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for the invitation and for giving me this opportunity for this great conversation.
Right. I would like to have a conversation where most intricacies of the matter will come forth based on your personal experience on what goes forth in courts and how this may get infused by the introduction of artificial intelligence. So I will start off with this question. What do you think are some common legal issues that may arise when implementing artificial intelligence in our everyday life?
You should, just tell us who is the first to talk. So.
Starting Mrs. Mala, no problem.
Martina, please go ahead.
Yes. Well, this is a very big conversation because, of course, artificial intelligence will help in many ways if we consider how easier it will be to search and find certain responses on some issues that will arise according to legal issues. But the problem is that as far as the criminal cases are concerned, this is what I wanted to put, a little bit on the table. The human factor is always very, very, very important. What I want to say is that every case is very different from the other. It's not something that artificial intelligence could easily discriminate between the cases. It's not like mathematics. It has to do with ethics. It has to do with certain human behaviors that have some certain cause that is not the same in every case, which means that if artificial intelligence has some certain cases on its dossier, to give it that way, it's not very easy to be very fair. If I can, be.
See, I get what you mean. So you are really alluding to actually using artificial intelligence in actually judging
Yes.
cases or being used as a tool to judge a case.
It's no. In judging cases,
Judging
as a tool, it's always good to have the opportunity to be able to search certain factors that you would not be able to search without the artificial intelligence. It could be a great assistant to be more specific. For the judge.
All right, I'm sorry. Liki, what is your take on this? Do you think artificial?
I agree with Martina. The point is what? When we use artificial intelligence in order to help us, for example, we have platforms in order to find precedent law cases or to find laws or decisions about same matter or a case that we already have. It's the job is easier for us, and we can find all our information easier and have a better view on it. On the other hand, that Martina told, for example, if we have two cases, two persons that they committed a crime, for example, they murdered someone with a weapon, okay? And in the one hand, we have the one person that he shooted the person with the same gun twice because he didn't like him, just like this. And on the other case, we have another person that shooted the person accidentally. How this gonna put into an algorithm in order to understand what will happen in the one case and what will happen in the other case? Because the result is the same. The action that happened is the same. Both persons murder another person, but the one wanted to do this and the other person accidentally did this. So I mean that there's the human factor, and we cannot only be based on the algorithm and on artificial intelligence. That's my point.
Let me play the devil's advocate there. Judges are, of course, fallible. They're human. They have, I presume, they have their better or their worst days. Wouldn't an entity that has knowledge of the entire law corpus and has knowledge of almost a limitless number of cases that have been judged be more impartial to actually judge a person rather than a human can absolutely do? Because I presume even empathy in this kind of systems can be taught in some degree or other. But
Yes. Aliki, you want to?
No, Martina. Keep on.
ladies, please let me end the conversation if possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Martina, go ahead, please.
Yes, of course. No, I really believe that the human judge will make the best decision, because when you have a human in front of you, you can understand the motives, the personality, which is very, very important. And I'm still referring to criminal cases mostly, as Liki said before. But the personality of the person that committed the crime is very, very important. The that brought him in this position is again very important. These are factors that artificial intelligence, at least now, because I don't know, you say that it can be taught. I don't know. It may be taught, But for now, I think that artificial intelligence, at least in all the experiments that have been made till now, is making a lot of mistakes, as I have read. Still, okay, this may improve, but for now, I think it's not very safe to give the opportunity to robots, to say it like that, to judge cases like that.
Yeah, well, I do think that an advanced artificial intelligence will probably object to calling it robot, but it's certainly an automaton in the way that it initially starts to think. Aliki, what is your take on this? Don't you think artificial intelligence, an advanced artificial intelligence, will be more impartial in judging cases?
Look, we are trying to find objectivity, and in the same time, we need subjectivity. What I mean, artificial intelligence is what? It's an algorithm. And who makes the algorithm? A person who knows about this. So the first step,
It nevertheless is self-evolving, huh?
yeah, but the algorithm is made firstly by the person. And the person, we should find out who's the person and is he objective, subjective, is he biased or not?
Well, to be fair, from an IT point of view, it's not a person. It may be thousands and thousands of coders
Of course, of
sharing.
But of person, that firstly is person. So if someone is biased, in a way, is biased even in two ways. If he knows, okay, he doesn't like, for example, persons of religion, or even if he's biased and he doesn't know about this. So I mean that even with artificial intelligence, we find in a way we say, okay, the decision is objective, but is it really objective? Finally, is subjective. So I mean that we should put that, we should say that, in my opinion, we should use artificial intelligence in a way that to be helpful, not to take the full decisions about a legal case. At least now that it's an evolving issue. In the
Well,
future, I don't know, maybe it's better.
talking somebody that is absolutely not an expert in legal matters, but is a political scientist. Thing is that human judges and judgments in general, I suppose, always reflect the values, perhaps, of the existing society, but definitely they reflect the values of the existing political structure. So let's presume that we have a state where the rule of the state is absolute. Let's have, I don't know, a modern example of Nazi Germany. I presume that the human judge there would be absolutely biased in order to suppress whatever activity goes against the state or against his political beliefs. I presume an artificial intelligence may do the same, but and I suppose all human hope is what if this human entity could absolutely overcome its coding and go a step forward that the human is unwilling to do. I don't know. Would you have a take on that?
What do you mean? I'm sorry for asking, but I didn't understand. What do you mean?
Well,
Take-
I'm really going into the issue of liability for artificial intelligence decision making, because I presume you have, when judging a case, there are certain conditions to be met in order for somebody to accept liability for an action, aren't there?
Yes, of course. But for what you said about the absolute political systems, I really don't believe that an absolute political system would actually let artificial intelligence be objective in judgments. I believe that each absolute political system, as it happened until now with human, the same thing will be happening with artificial intelligence. What I want to say is that if they want to patronize the legal system, they can do it even with artificial intelligence. The problem is that I'm not sure that artificial intelligence, if given the same documents and be asked to make to do the analysis, they will do it the same way each time. I'm not really sure if this is so. I mean that until now, what I've seen is that they can do they can resume documents, they can make new documents from those documents, but I'm not sure that each of them will be the same each time, which means that I'm not so sure that in each case, even if given the same factors, they will give the same judgment as it is now. I mean.
All right. May I ask another question to Aliki, please? How do you think we could possibly determine liability for artificial intelligence decision making? I don't know, if I use an artificial intelligence entity to slander somebody on the internet rather than doing it myself, can I come up with a defense of the kind of, I don't know, the artificial intelligence is liable rather than me?
That it's up to the artificial intelligence that make the problem.
Yeah, because artificial intelligence does have a mind of its own. I may give it an initial nudge and say, you know, I want to slander Aliki or I want to slander Martina. And while I could do it on my own, find your own social accounts and start slandering you or writing bad things about you and doing all the stuff that I think we've seen countless times when internet took over our lives. What happens when artificial intelligence that can do this process 1 million times more efficient and much more in depth? Who is reliable? Is artificial decision making and me using it? Will I be will be the one liable in using it, or can I shift some blame to it as well?
You know, it's difficult to answer just like this and say artificial intelligence or me for using this, we are responsible for that. And what I mean, the systems, the tools of artificial intelligence will evolve step by step and find out that there are robots, for example, that I remember playing chess. One champion in chess was playing chess with a robot, and the robot gained him. So imagine that the tools of artificial intelligence will think like humans. So why not a tool of artificial intelligence make so much trouble? I think that all the governments that use these tools should put barriers, should put laws in order the persons to know how to use them, how to use artificial intelligence, and when something happens, what will be not the decision, what will happen with them? Do we put the blame on the persons or in the tools of artificial intelligence? So till now, it's easy to say just like this, I put the blame on the human or I put the blame on the robot, for example.
I see. Martina, what do you think on this subject?
I agree with Aliki. I'm not so sure that for now that everything is so theoretical because this is very new for all of us.
Indeed.
For the law, yes. I really believe that there will be certain laws that will occur all the time that from now and for many years, we will see all the bad things that happen with artificial intelligence and we will start putting all the barriers, as Aliki says, so that we can be certain that this is not used against us and will be used for the good of humanity and not for doing bad to people. I don't know how this is going to be, you know, in the legal system, but I think for now, they are searching certain ways to be certain that this will be as it has to be. The very important thing that we need to discuss, I think, which is already a matter that has been arised in Europe, is artificial intelligence and art. What I want to say is that, especially in music, artificial intelligence has started to be able to make new music, which means that there will be music that is not written by human, it's written by artificial intelligence. And this is a very, very important issue, as it has to do with the property, the intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
Yes, and they are now in Europe trying to find the ways to put the barriers in all this, because artificial intelligence is making new music, but it's always stealing things from music that has already been made. You understand what I try to say?
Well, let me play devil's advocate there.
Yes.
Isn't all art based on previous art? You know, it's like the famous saying that we have all stood on the shoulders of giants in order to be able to go forward.
It is, but I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. When a human takes something that is intellectually a property of another person, there are the laws that he can run to and be very, very protected from that. When it has to do with the artificial intelligence that has access to all the music of all the world, it's not so easy. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying.
No, no.
Artificial intelligence can take the
I,
whole property. Yes.
I
So,
do. I do think you have brought forth a huge point in talking. You have what you're insinuating between all else is about actually regulating the use of artificial intelligence in general and in the legal industry in particular. From a point of view of information technology, I think that the law has always been very slow in catching up to all modern IT advancement or computer advancement, as a layman would say. Aliki, wouldn't you think that this kind of problem will also continue with introduction of artificial intelligence, that is, with law not being able to keep up with what is going on? And would you see something that may be more dangerous in the long term, rather than just not being able to judge correctly a hacker or somebody that use IT for a nefarious purpose?
Look, I think the law, and here in Greece, we have really problems about how we're doing the laws, how many times or how often we change the law. I think that the law will go hand by hand with artificial intelligence. I don't know if that will happen so quickly, because from one day to another day, if, for example, I buy today a computer, a laptop, a week after today, my laptop will be maybe really old, okay? But the law system does not work like this. So I believe that there will be efforts in order to go hand by hand, but I don't know if they will be so effective. For example, I'll give an example from the criminal law. When the first time there was the appearance of bitcoins, there were, of course, frauds with bitcoins. But in our law system, there was not a thing in order to punish someone who made a fraud using bitcoins. So we had a new law system about this, a new article about this, in order to punish fraud with bitcoins. Something like this, I believe that is going to happen also with artificial intelligence. There will be an evolution in artificial intelligence, and in the same time, there will be an evolution in the law system.
Martina, what do you think? Will the legal sector be able to keep up in actually regulating artificial intelligence and its impact on society?
I think that we will be obligated to do that. It will happen eventually. We cannot avoid that. So definitely it will, but I think it will become very slowly because if the problems do not occur, we're not able to prevent them. We're not able to think what is going to come up. Very new for all of us. So I think we will see a lot of legal changes in the future on that sector.
Martina, how do you think artificial intelligence can be used in a more benevolent way to improve legal processes, legal outcomes? Could you think of some ways that it could actually be useful to people that serve the law?
Yes, well, we could definitely use it to improve by automating the routine that we have in the legal system and in court, legal tasks that artificial intelligence could do so that we have more time to work on our cases, and definitely as a tool to search legal resources to find solutions to all the legal problems that we have to come over. So I think that if we do a good use of artificial intelligence, lawyers, especially lawyers, will be very, it would be very helpful for lawyers, for our everyday routine.
I see. So all those mundane, repetitive tasks will just go away, and you will be able to serve both your clients and the law in a much better manner.
Yes, of course. And of course, searching the resources that will find solutions for legal issues that seek to ours that can help us in our job. I think that it would be very helpful.
All right. Aliki, what do you think on this?
I agree with Martina on this. I read a report that said that with JP Morgan's platform, lawyers gained annually 300,000 hours annually because there wasn't the need to search or to analyze. They put on the case, and in that way, they gained a lot of time that they used in having maybe having better relationships, personal relationships with their clients. On the other hand, I would like to say that we should definitely use it wisely, because I wouldn't like to find out, like when I have a problem and I have a health problem, I'm Googling, and there's a prediction of what I have, what my illness is. I wouldn't like to find out a person that would need a legal advice to Googling in that platforms, and then to have a result, or to say, oh, that's the solution to my problem. That would be really a huge problem, just Googling in a platform like this, because maybe a lawyer knows the law system and understands that, for example, the solution that gave is not good or cannot be used. But a person just reads this and say, oh, it's so easy. I don't need not a lawyer, not someone. I can do it myself. So that's a thing that we should be careful about.
I think we have covered it enough, at least in the present state of affairs. In your opinion, Martina, how possibly could legal professionals ensure that artificial intelligence is used in a fair and unbiased way? Would you think of any measures that would absolutely help to control whatever negative or even positive outcomes may come out of the use of artificial intelligence in the law system?
I don't think that it is a very, very easy question to answer.
Definitely.
Yes, well, we have to have a discipline on that. We have to actually use artificial intelligence step by step. First, as I said, using it as a tool and not on judgments, because I disagree again with you, and I believe that judgments in the courts should be subjective and not very, very objective. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Objectiveness means that no other factor except from the act that the person did is actually taken as a tool to find the judgment. When it has to do with criminal cases, as I said before, it's very important to see subjectively the person, the personality, and the reason for which he did what he did. So as it comes for the tool, as a tool in the legal system, I continue to say, we have to use it as a tool and not as something that we have to take as a fact. I mean, we can use the artificial intelligence to help us, as Aliki said before, but a lawyer has to look over what the artificial intelligence has come with and then use it as a human for the court and for the legal issues that he has to come over. This is my opinion on that. The way that this is going to happen, I wish I could help, but I'm not sure that I can do it for now.
No, it's definitely, we're not seeking here to introduce an applicable system since it's very early days yet, but in order for this whole process to follow through, there has to be lots and lots of discussion first in order for us to be able to analyze the problems, the potential problems, and then seek the potential solutions. And that's what we always aim to do at Strategy International. And that's why it's our distinct pleasure to have both of you here with us today. Aliki, what is your take on this question about ensuring that artificial intelligence is used in a fair and possibly unbiased way?
Maybe a solution, not a solution. I think a step that we could do is to have a database with decisions that make artificial intelligence tools or platforms, and after this to check out the statistics in order to find out in each case what was the AI tool said, and finally what was the decision of the judge, for example, and to find out if they agreed in this, the tools of artificial intelligence and the judge, if they agree in this. If they agree, I think that artificial intelligence made the job good. So I think a first step is this, that we could do, of course, and to check out the statistics. Then the things that should be made, I think that will go step by step and hand by hand, the one evolution and the other evolution.
All right. I will come up with another question now. What role do you think human judgment and oversight play if we allow artificial intelligence to assist us in decision making? Should human judgment be always the final arbitrator? Should oversight be absolute? Or should we allow artificial intelligence to help us in a lesser or a larger degree in actually taking some perhaps lesser decisions? Martina, what is your take on this?
Well, I really think my take on this, at least for now, is that the human should have the last word and should be the final person to take the judgment. Of course, by using artificial intelligence and all the tools that they give us, because it's a huge progress that we have made as humanity, and the access that we have through artificial intelligence in all the information that we can find, and we can use it so that we make a good judgment. But I really believe that, at least for now, because I don't know how this is going to improve in the future, the human judgment should be the most respected factor for now. This is my opinion. No.
Aliki, what do you think? Should we use artificial intelligence, for example, in judging, I don't know, traffic law violations,
Mhm.
which are quite a mundane task?
Look, in United States already, specifically in Wisconsin, a platform was used in order to say if a person that wanted to be given suspension will do a crime again. So there's a platform about this platform. The name is Compass, if I remember clearly, that says if the person will do a new crime or not. And that report is given to the judge. So the judge came to a decision, and the person, Mr. Loomis, made an appeal on his decision, saying that the decision wasn't fair because it was given by artificial intelligence. The fact is that the judge used this tool only advisory, and his decision was not based only in this tool, but it was something just helpful to him. So the state decided that the judge's decision was fair and good and didn't change anything at all. On the other hand, we have an example of Estonia, if I remember, of Estonia, that created a robot in order to solve disputes for about a robot judge in order to solve disputes, but small disputes with about 7,000 euro. And that the robot will make totally the decision, will come to a decision. And after this, if the person has a problem, will do an appeal on this. So we have two cases. In the one hand, the case of America that use artificial intelligence tools advisory. And on the other hand, we have the example of Estonia that use artificial intelligence exactly as a judge. The point is that we don't have data if really all these tools were used once, twice, I don't know, third, in the example of Estonia, I don't know exactly, I couldn't find anything about this more, if really used that new AL tool. So I cannot right now come to a conclusion. As you said, it's a really good matter, and we should go step by step.
So it's really a matter of not knowing actually where to set boundaries, since the goalposts are going to go further and further as technology progresses. And I suppose that takes us forward takes us to my next question. Ladies, what kind of artificial intelligence powered legal tools would be useful to you, apart from those that are used to deal with mundane repetitive tasks? Would you trust artificial intelligence tools or entities to actually do some critical thinking for you? Martina?
I could use it. Yes, I would actually trust it. Only advisory. I mean, I could, if there was a platform that I could search by putting my issue, my problem, my case on it. Give me.
Excuse me, let's call it a personal assistant, like, I don't know, like having a paralegal or a fellow lawyer.
The paralegal, that is what I said before. I would actually, yes, I would definitely trust it, because I think that it can very quickly and very easily find information that it's very, and combine the information that is needed, which is very, very difficult and very, and it costs a lot of time to a human. So I think that as a paralegal or as an assistant, it would be very, very useful. But still, because I really believe that computers can do mistakes and algorithms can do mistakes, we have to be careful and not take it for granted that it's definitely right and that there's nothing wrong with the information that we get from the artificial intelligence. But I think that it would be very, very, very helpful. Yes.
Concur with you in broad terms, since we do have to be skeptical, because sometimes I presume it's like those scientists that actually strove forth and constructed the nuclear bomb. Their research and their whole effort, as far as they were concerned, was because of science. But after they finished their task, then they were aghast in the ethics of actually constructing such a device. And it's always difficult for us to actually understand and fathom the repercussions of our actions where they're so far-fetched, either whether we're talking about nuclear bombs or about artificial intelligence. I think science fiction has been very vocal on what may happen if things do not go in the way we wish them to go. So thank you, Martina, for this introduction. Aliki, what would be your take on this?
I think that artificial intelligence really helps. As Martina said, we have tools till now in Greece. We have tools searching the laws or the cases like ours. We have tools like Nomos, Qualex, Socrates, and platforms like these. But till now, we don't have platforms that give a critical thinking about our case in order to put the data of our case and give us a solution, maybe a perspective or something like this. I'm hesitating. I am also hesitating to tell that I would be sure about the outcome of this platform right now that we are talking, okay? Because after 5 years, I don't know, maybe the algorithm of the artificial intelligence and the platforms were really, really better. And, a matter that is difficult is that, for example, here in Greece, we have a change for example, in the penal code or in the civil code. I think, Martina, you will agree, every month we have a change in a penal code. For example, as I was writing a report, in 3 months, an article in the penal code changed 5 times. 5 times. So imagine how can we go step by step artificial intelligence and the law system. I think it will be a bit difficult.
Well, I would say that artificial intelligence will be much faster than you in actually keeping track of all those minute changes and the repercussions they may have. So I suppose we do have a lot to think for in this respect. I would like to draw your attention matter. Excuse me?
Can I say one thing on what you just
Yes,
said?
please go ahead, Martina, please.
It's not so easy, because what Aliki wanted to say, if you don't agree, you can say it, Aliki, is that it changes all the time. But if there is a crime that was committed with the previous penal code, and the new penal code is worst for this person, we use the previous penal code that
Right.
was on that time. If it's better, the new penal code, we use the new. This is something which I think it's very difficult for now for artificial intelligence
I
to
see.
be critical enough to find the code and choose between the two laws. I think this is what Aliki wanted to just put the light on.
I understand. This is quite a specialized subject, I understand, and I think you have put forth a small but very crucial intricacy on the way that law and its servants have to behave in order for it to actually be executed in a manner befitting a society. And talking about society, and I would really to ask, I would really want to ask a question to both of you on the subject of social inequality. Always in societies there's always a discussion about people not having access to justice due to cost of the legal services and due to various other concerns that really do not allow them to have an access to the law that they should have. Do you think that the use of artificial intelligence would be useful in this regard? That is, using artificial intelligence in actually drawing down the cost of me accessing legal services and of people that do not have either the financial means or the times or the predicament to do so, to actually embrace the law and find the judgment to their everyday dealings in society. Aliki, could you give me an initial statement on that?
Yeah, if we have a good platform or a good AI tool, I think that this will be helpful not only for the persons, but also maybe for the government who gives legal help to persons that they don't have the money. But in this case, as I said before, I wouldn't like to check out people Googling their problem and finding out a solution that it will not fit in their problem, because every case has different matters, has differences that I
Yeah, but
cannot find out how a platform could understand all this.
artificial intelligence is definitely much more than actually Googling something now, isn't it?
Yeah,
Uh,
of course.
uh,
Of course. It's much more Googling. I'm trying to tell you that it will be like the health problem that we have. We're Googling and we say, I have this. Oh my God, I'm dying. Something like this. I wouldn't like to find out that's my data. And because, if I'm not a lawyer, I say, like my clients, someone comes in order to tell me me the problem he has. And he says 1, 2, 3, that's the important. But for the law system, for me, that I'm a professional, that's not the 1, 2, 3 points the important. Maybe there are 4 more things that are really important in order to solve the case. So the platform doesn't know everything that is important in this case. So as I told you before, I hesitate to say, of course, it will give us money back, the persons, and really, I believe the government also. But I don't know how effective it will be in this stage.
Martina, what do you think about using AI to improve access to justice and reduce the cost of legal services?
Of legal services is actually,
Excuse me, we can't hear you. Sorry, can you
I don't,
repeat?
that the biggest cost from legal services is actually going to a lawyer, because the AI, I think what it will try to do is avoid the lawyer. The lawyer is not the expensive part of our legal system, at least in Greece. The expenses are mostly the expenses that the state puts on each case, which I think will not be stopped with the artificial intelligence. Even if a platform is working, still, I think that the access to the legal system will be done through the state and through some costs that the state will have to just tell the people that they have to pay in order to be able to have access to this special platform. So for now, I'm not sure that this is going to, just do the legal system less expensive.
I see. So it doesn't seem to be a catch-all solution for every ailment.
Yes, I don't
Yeah,
think so.
because I presume it's usual in human affairs that when we introduce a solution to a problem, we actually introduce more problems as well. And I suppose this is a vicious cycle that will go on and on. For you
Please,
to,
let me add something.
yes,
Um,
please.
Also, many changes should be done in law. In what thing? Here in Greece, at least, it's obligatory to have a lawyer in order to go to court in most of the cases. So even if you have the IA tool in order to get some advice, when you will go to court, you will really need a lawyer, because without a lawyer, you cannot be in the court. So I don't know, maybe there will be a change not to be with a lawyer in the court, to be just with the AI tool, maybe.
Well, perhaps. What would you ladies as law professionals expect from the European Union in the coming years in the form of legislation that would actually handle this incorporation of artificial intelligence into the legal systems of the European Union? Would you think that a central approach in tackling with the subject would help more than actually each country going about on its own way in tackling this?
Well, I
No,
don't think. Sorry.
no, Martina, please go ahead.
Yes. I think that this legal system that will occur with AI will be worldwide, will be global. I don't think that each country will have a different legal system on that, because AI does not have a country. You know what I mean? As we use it through our computer, it's not easy to just have a different legal system in each country. So I think there will be the law that we will have will be global. This is my point of view. I don't know what will happen at last, but I don't think that
Global
each country. Yes.
I see.
This is what I think.
Aliki, what do you think on the subject?
Look, European Union is always the umbrella, and all the countries are under the umbrella. As with the previous laws that come from European Union says now you should take into your legal system that law, and you should translate it in Greek, German, France, etc. So I think that it will be, at least in European Union, there will be the same rules and the same law that every country should take into her law system. As with, for example, with the GDPR, with the personal data, every country has about the same law system. Okay, so I believe that the same will happen. Of course, in the other countries will take steps in their legal system about artificial intelligence, but I don't know if they will be exactly like the European Union. But the countries of European Union, I think that will be almost the same about this.
I see. Thank you, ladies, for this very interesting discussion. I would like from each one of you her final ideas on the subject, her final statement on the subject of actually using artificial intelligence in law and how to go about using it. Martina, would you like to go first?
Well, what I believe is that AI is very, very important because it has access to data. And as we all know, data is the new gold. So I think that using AI in the right way as a very, very helpful tool will be very, very helpful, not only in law, but in all the sectors of our life. But we have to be very careful because we can lose boundaries, and then I don't know what will happen.
Aliki, your take on this?
I think that people are afraid of everything that it's new and it's strange to them. But I believe that through to evolution, technological evolution, artificial intelligence will be in front of us, not with us, in front of us. So I think that if we use it wisely, we should definitely gain from this. We should gain time, we should gain money, and we will make things better, not just in law system and in many other sectors that it will be used. I'm with this. I'm with the evolution, but I would like. My wish is to be used wisely and for our good as everything that it's new.
Thank you, Aliki. Well, it has to be said that the road to hell is always paved with good intentions, and I suppose everybody's intention is to actually use this human-made invention in an appropriate ethical manner. But to tell you the truth, and from a political studies perspective, unfortunately, humanity has not always been that great in harnessing the power it has been given to it. And especially in the case of artificial intelligence, that may at one time actually have a mind of its own and a mind that may be of a greater capacity than that of the human mind, the repercussions will be severe for us and may be catastrophic to the very end. In any case, I absolutely do not want to leave this conversation with a note of cynicism. I would like to thank you both for giving us an extraordinary initial view on the introduction of artificial intelligence into the legal systems, some possible problems that may arise. I'm sure that there will be lots and lots of problems that will arise, but actually there will be a lot of things that we'll be able to do and that will help your work and will help those people that are judged or seek judgment by the state. I would like to thank you both. Thank you very much, Martina Mala, for talking to us today. Thank you, Martina. Thank you very much, Aliki Konstantakou.
Thank you for your invitation. Thanks a lot. It was really fruitful webinar.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our present webinar. Please join us for future webinars in this series of Strategy International. I wish you a good afternoon or good night depending on whatever hemisphere you may be. And a big thanks from me personally, Dr. Joseph Demergis. Have a nice day. Thank you.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.